Well, we're going to see how this works. Hello, everybody. Karen D on the move, but for right now, I decided to get a little still. Normally, I go live on my Facebook page. Um, Lately, I have not been going live on there. Been busy working and just living life, so to speak. So, Mercury retrograde. Wow. Those that know, you know. So those are the ones who probably I'm speaking to. Now, we all know what happens, or we don't know what is going to happen, but not to be surprised when anything come during that time, because it is actually a storm in the atmosphere that leaves chaos after it's gone. And yeah, it does affect everyone, just as anyone in the line of a hurricane, tornado, or any other storm. It's going to leave some type of chaos. Some will be okay, some will be affected by it. Same with the Mercury retrograde. Now, truth is, my Mercury retrograde began, my personal Mercury retrograde began January 2012. My then job, place of employment, I worked as a medical assistant for 25 years, and I was at this facility that decided to terminate all medical assistants because they wanted to upgrade and be seen in a more professional manner with licensure employees. So, medical assistant, LPN, we can all do the exact same thing, but they wanted licensure employees. Okay, January 2012. That February, actually, no, the ending part of January 2012, right after getting that news, my only sister was diagnosed with neuroendocrine cancer. Yeah, working at a reproductive clinic during that time, I was aware enough of what it was to know that I would not have her for another year. And the news had to be broken to my family. So, Mercury retrograde, here we go. Did it stop there? No, of course not. She passed away November 2012, and January 2013, my mom was diagnosed as having a silent heart attack. She was having problems and we just couldn't figure out what it was. She had became bedbound. I knew she had not shed tears for my sister, but I knew her heart was torn out. So I knew it was heartbreak. Well, by January, it was found that she had suffered a heart attack. She never did get up out the bed again. 3 years, I kept her home. Mercury retrograde. Because sometimes, we have blocks for reasons. I became the caregiver as well for my sister, and right after her death, the caregiver for my mom. And her sickness lasted 6 years before her death. So she died 2018, going through this storm. And during that time, right after she passed, during the time, my father was diagnosed with severe glaucoma. Nothing could be done. and he was going to lose his sight. So by the time my mom passed away, June 2018, I had to take care of my dad. My then spouse did not feel comfortable with him coming to live with us, and I respected his space. So I had to find a place for my dad, and I did, to take care of him. Well, in January of 2021, the divorce that was gonna be inevitable happened, and it became final. January 19th, 2021, my dad was diagnosed with COVID-19. So, had to live with it, had to deal with it. Retrograde, I'm telling you, retrograde. And February 11th, 2021, my birthday, by the way, my father passed away from COVID-19. Mercury, retrograde. But we go through storms, and that's what we have to do, is go through the storm. You have to survive through the storm. And during those times, you do heal. Healing take place. Now, during all of those laps, trust me, everything and anything that old Karen D could do to survive, I did. During that time, I became a published author, and I'm proud to say that I have 8+ books to my credit right now, as well as writing on another one. During that time, I became a business owner, Pensive Marketing. I also began my own publishing company to help new authors that wanted to break into writing. Had to keep the mind busy doing everything going on. During this time, still taking care of my loved ones, still making coins. But I had to learn not to be bitter against those that I thought would be there for me, or that I felt should understand. I couldn't be bitter with them because you're not going through it. During that time, in those storms, different people are going to blow into your life. Some for a blessing, others for a lesson. And as time go on, you will recognize the blessings, and you will learn to benefit from the lessons without having malice against the deliverer of the lesson. They're just the teacher. Okay? So anyway, you learn to survive in all of that. You learn to survive, and you learn to become strong. But the one thing you don't do is give up. Ever give up. Another one of the things that I do during that, I am an up-and-coming actress. I can turn on the TV. My niece is in there right now looking at a show that I am on. Now, brings me to the next thing. People assume because you're behind the camera, because you have written a book, baby, that you have money already on you. See, what they don't realize is on nights when y'all were in your warm beds and everything, a lot of times old Karen D had to sleep in her car. A lot of times when you putting food in your mouth, a lot of times old Karen D's stomach had to growl. Are those times over? No, they're not. But you're gonna always see this smile. Because the one thing that the Steve Harveys, the Oprah Winfreys, the Tiffany Haddishes, one thing I've learned from all of them are those survival stories are so very true and hit so very close to home. Because when you have a deep passion that burns inside of you, that you're trying to live, you've been led to it. I had all of those blocks. I'll tell you something else. As skilled as I am in the medical field, and I'm not being braggadatory, I'm just being factual. Anybody who had me as an employee benefited from me just as I benefited from them. But every time I go to take a position or go to inquire about a position, I'm always told that I'm overqualified for the job. Well, that's only because God has qualified me for something else. It's not an easy one, but hey, I'm doing it. He has qualified me to let those know if you're going through it, you'll get through it. But you got to learn not to have malice against the people who don't understand, because those that are supposed to be there, and I can count well, I don't even have to count. My bestie, Ebony Granger, my niece, blood niece, Brittany Green, my friend Vera, my sister for life, Barbara Story, and then my other sister, Penny Hall, and a few others who have always, always, always been there. Never, ever, ever have they ever judged me, because most of them have known me all of my life, number one, and they love unconditionally. And those that love with conditions doesn't mean that they love any less. It just means that they love and they're not understanding where you're going. And it's not for them to understand. But you can't hold malice because they don't. And for one thing for sure, you never give up. Oh, Karen D isn't. With that being said, Penson Marketing is coming back, babies. Information coming soon. Bye-bye.